they got their work cut out for them today, and so short bench, long bench, they're gonna have a tough matchup.
Missouri State in the maroon uniforms with the white numbers. You see the St. Thomas squad, the top seed in this Division II tournament, in the gray uniforms with the purple trim and the purple numbers along with the white helmets. St. Thomas, one of 6 teams out of the Upper Midwest Lacrosse Conference to be in this Division II tournament. Certainly one of the strongest conferences all season long here in MCLA Division II.
That conference is stacked top to bottom. Best conference in the MCLA's Division II. So they're a seasoned team. They played some good competition all year, and you come in, you're the 1 seed, playing at a high level lacrosse, very confident. I think it's very important for the Bears to try and weather the storm early, try and get some confidence, try and hang around against a team like the Tommies, who are so loaded.
When you get ready for a national tournament here, Greg, and you know that this could be the first of 4, but it's win or go home, how does the attitude change along the sideline?
Everything's ramped up, everything's amplified. You know, you lose, your season's over. And so, there's no hiding that. Everybody knows, coaches know, everybody knows. You know what you're in. You're in a tournament format. And so win and move on, leave it all on the field.
So here we go. The ball is down for the opening face-off. And we are set to go for a busy day here in Salt Lake City. The opening face-off won here by the Tommies. And they will get the first possession here this afternoon.
Eric Tice with the great control, winning the ball to himself. For your face-off unit, if your face-off specialist can control the face-off to himself, that's what you want. Don't even get your wings involved.
Chance for a loose ball opportunity, deflected, but scooped up here by the Tommies, and they keep. Look at Charlie Venable, who sends it back out up top.
Nice job from Missouri State. Sticks up in the passing lane, but...
Shot and a score. It's Alex Vishems, the junior from Minnesota, and he's got the Tommies up 1-0.
Just giving Vishems too much space. Parked right on the crease, about 6 yards off, and hands free, goes near post. That's a great release, but if you're the defense there for the Bears, you got to get out, get on his hands. Can't allow him to shoot that close on your goalie.
So the Tommies strike first. Remember, this is a team that comes into the tournament red hot. They have not lost since all the way back February 24th when they dropped one to Minnesota Duluth. We've got another face-off win here for the Tommies. A different face-off guy, Ben Campbell, winning that one for St. Thomas, and they get another offensive set.
And for St. Thomas, they have 3 face-off specialists that they'll cycle through, just one right after another. And for them, and in this tournament, you talked about the number of games you're going to be playing. If you win, you get to advance. So having face-off guys that are able to stay fresh, having that deep face-off unit is a huge advantage for them if they're able to move on and as they progress into the tournament.
Certainly a team that expects to move on as the top seed. Nice pass in the middle and another finish for Vishems. He's got 2 early, and St. Thomas is up a pair.
That's as easy as it gets for the Tommies. 1 pass to the crease. For Missouri State, they do a better job on the backside of filling and collapsing. You don't want to give up those crease shots. You want the ball to kick high, give your goalie a shot. You want to see 12, 11-yard shots, not 5-yard shots right on top of your keeper.
So a couple of minutes into this first quarter in Division II MCLA action. The top seed showing you why they have that number 1 next to their name in the bracket. An early 2-0 lead.
Missouri State got to get the nerves out, settle in, and just stop the bleeding.
And another face-off win from St. Thomas. Tripped up a loose ball, but a nice favorable bounce for the Tommies, and they keep.
Joel Iverson with the face-off win. Looked like he was going to take it right to the rack. Ball just jumped out of his stick. Fortunate break for the Bears.
See Visham's number 6 there in gray. He's got both goals so far this afternoon.
Good defense on ball from Missouri State.
And a turnover. And a first look at Missouri State's clear and a chance to get an offensive possession.
That was a much better defensive set for the Bears. Sticks up, we're on hands, able to force the turnover. And for the Tommies, that's uncharacteristic turnover. They were just transferring the ball. Nice job on the clear.
Jonathan Wishnack brings it in, and they touch it in the box for an offensive possession. Look at David Bierman with it for the Bears in maroon and white. This is Cooper Kelly.
Seeing Cooper Kelly in warm-ups. He's got a very slick stick, very quick. One of the guys that when you watch in a team warm-up just jumps out right away to you. You look at him, you say, this kid's pretty slick.
22 points on the season for Cooper Kelly, 12 goals and 10 assists. He works with it behind the cage.
Missouri State doing a nice job in this possession. Handling the pressure. Well,
tripped up, he keeps it.
Almost jinxed him. But they're handling
the
the pressure.
The old announcer jinx.
Hey, it's very real.
It is real. Here's Jake Parker, splits a couple, gets a shot off. Wide of the cage, but Kelly an opportunity. Sidearm sling, just a little wide, but backed up by the Bears.
Not a lot on that shot from Missouri State. Then the backup. Kelly's able to take 2 more steps upfield. He's able to put that on cage, and it's probably a goal.
It's a pass or a shot. The referees rule it a pass, and that'll be a turnover for the Bears.
These fields are very clean cut, very low grass, so that ball's not going to slow down much.
St. Thomas able to get it over the midfield, stripe it into the offensive box. Charlie Venable races in.
That was a fortunate bounce for the Tommies. Pass was intended for one of the midfielders that was working back. It sailed, but one hops over to the attack.
Sam Turner gets his man to fall down, but continues to work it around. Better shot here. Top shelf the finish for Nicholas Bund. The junior makes it 3-zip.
Just drops his hands and brings the hammer. Finds the top shelf, and once again, the skip passes through to the backside are wide open, able to catch and shoot with your time and room from 6 yards. There's nothing your goalie can do to try and make that safe.
So it has been all St. Thomas here early on. Just about 5 minutes into this opening quarter, Missouri State calls a timeout, and the 16 seed looking to kind of weather the storm here early. Greg, this is exactly what we talked about before. Missouri State didn't want to happen.
They did not want to. They don't want to be here, obviously, and you know, for them, it's all about confidence and in believing that you can win in a game like this when you're the 16 seed playing the 1. Their offensive possession that they had wasn't bad. Then they throw an errant pass. And on defensive end, they have to give their goalie a chance. They got to find ways to match up and fill that backside, make the ball come high over the top where they can recover and react. They can't allow those skip passes down to the doorstep, or it's going to be a long afternoon.
If you're in the Missouri State huddle and your coach, Justin Rich, what are you telling your team about finding ways to just kind of settle down and weather the storm?
I think the message here is, guys, we're down 3-0, but we're not playing very well either. So we're much better than this. Take a breath, know your role, do your job, and just keep executing the game plan. You're going to be fine. It's early, but you got to have that confidence. You got to have that belief, and you got to stay the course. You got to trust your coach, trust your systems, and not get too discombobulated where you start to speed up and, you know, aren't able to. You start to have a little bit too much of a sense of urgency, and then you see the turnovers and the bad shots.
Another face-off guy here for St. Thomas, Patrick Steigsel.
Got the stable of face-off, man.
Just rolling them out there.
How often do you see that? They go 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. Usually, you know, you got a face-off guy who wins the first one. Your coach leaves him out there and lets him stay hot, get in a groove, get in a rhythm. But when you have the talent that you do for St. Thomas and the trust from your coach that all these guys are going to win faceoffs regardless of who you send out there, keep them fresh, send 1-1-1.
And Steigsel picks up the loose ball, takes a big hit along the sideline, and we get our first flag of the day.
Have a cross check, just a little bit high.
So on top of being up 3-0, the top-seeded Tommies, a chance to go man up here early on. Justice Greenberger getting the first flag of the day here for Missouri State.
This is a critical junction early in this game. You're down 3, you haven't played great defense, and now you're down a man. You need to find a way to come up with a stop and give your goalie a chance to make a save.
10 minutes! 10 minutes!
Here the coach is calling the formation and the scout.
One right off the bar for Nicholas Bunn. Second straight laser of a shot we've seen from him.
Yeah, Bunny had him beat there. Just wasn't able to put that on. An inch to the left, and that's a goal.
Another post. This time from Sam Turner.
That one sails to the parking lot and drills somebody's Ford Explorer.
Glad I didn't drive here today. Another post, 3 in a row here for St. Thomas.
Might have been Josh Hawkins' Uber driver. Might be his Explorer out there. We're going to get Josh on the mic here in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get him on here.
Good save.
Distance shot saved by Scott Thomas in cage. We're back to even strength, but a long clearing pass for Missouri State. Saved along the sideline. Excuse me, now just out of bounds.
Looked like a save to me, but either way, the ball's coming back for the Tommies, and huge save there.
Referee was all over it, standing right there.
For Scott Thomas and the Bears.
Yeah.
His first one of the game, so we'll see if he can build some confidence.
Spin move. A shot and a score. Mark Nat'l. His first of the day, and it's 4-0 Tommies.
It's a nice athletic move. And then the great finish, the overhand, high to low. Buries the bottom corner.
Sam Turner exclaiming as he came over to the sideline for St. Thomas. So many pipes.
And there were quite a few pipes on that man-up possession, so he's not wrong.
Another face-off win here for St. Thomas. A chance to go unsettled.
Good
save by Thomas.
I don't know what Missouri State was doing there on the defensive end. They weren't covering the point guy at all. So it was one pass from the face-off specialist to the point, hands-free shot. Give Thomas a ton of credit in the cage for standing tall. And turnover here.
And St. Thomas will get it right back. Long clearing pass is knocked down by Missouri State. Regained by St. Thomas. The top seed brings it over the midfield stripe.
Here the Tommies calling for fresh middies, slowing it down, getting their substitutions right, getting their personnel correct before they initiate.
No rush if you're St. Thomas.
No, and for Missouri State, you've had a couple stops. You can
Thomas,
see another stop
nice
here.
low save there for Missouri State.
But the issue they've had is they haven't taken care of the ball. Once they've cleared it from the defense, the offense, they've thrown it away, spinning the ball. We saw a bad pass from Thomas after a huge save. Here's another turnover.
Another chance for the Tommies.
You get those stops, you got to get the ball to your offense.
Stigsel with it. Getting it to Brendan Satterland. And they set things up with Venable. And now Trent Gam. Trent bodies up his man.
If you're Missouri State, you might want to think about just dropping into a zone, covering that middle, packing it in. Because Thomas has made some great saves from the outside. The times he's been scored on have all been, doorstep shots.
Little two-man game behind. Feed in front. And it's Venable who bounces it home.
Once again, catch and shoot on the doorstep.
If you're the Tommies, it's a good proposition. If you're Missouri State, not so much.
Yeah, and I think looking at the Tommies sideline, they look like they expect to be here. They look like they're expecting to be up 5-0 early in the first, playing with a lot of confidence. Another factor, we talked about the short bench, is the altitude here.
Yeah. Certainly different for me coming from Boston.
Just a little bit higher elevation.
Slightly. Nice hit, but it's just all the bounces seem to be going the Tommies' way, right into a St. Thomas stick, and they keep possession.
Create your own luck, work hard, get to the right spots, and ball often bounces to you.
That's what you tell the kids, right?
That's what you tell the kids, yeah. But, there's certain games you find yourself in, and it does seem like the ball just happens to be bouncing one way, and you just got to ride it out. You got to know that at some point those bounces are going to come your way if you continue to work.
Step down, shot, and a score. A rifle from Nat'l, the junior, making it 6-zip.
It's the second athletic goal we've seen from him. He looks great running between the lines, making some athletic moves, and nice little split dodge, and then that release just beats Thomas with some speed.
And we've got the third member of our broadcast team, Josh Hawkins, current member of the Denver Outlaws, all mic'd up. Josh, good to have you here. We'll get your mic all situated there, Josh. A little in and out. We'll get him to stand still. He's not used to doing that on the lacrosse field.
You got us, Josh? Can you hear us?
You got me?
Now we got you.
Yeah.
There you go. Just stand still. Don't move too much.
Josh,
No,
early
me,
impressions.
Travis.
Early impressions on this game?
St. Thomas is just small with all these massive middies.
There you have Josh talking about the athleticism from the Tommies. Big, athletic, and we had a little audio trouble there, but Josh, if you've never seen him, is quite the athlete.
He is, yeah.
And talking about that these guys are big. And
Shot and a score. Visions. He's got a hat trick already in this first quarter. Visions with great vision.
Visions with great vision.
Yeah, there it is.
But, Josh talking about these guys being big and athletic, and he's a little bit bigger and a little bit more athletic. But these guys are impressive.
They are.
nonetheless.
And
So St. Thomas now up 7-0, about 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. This 16 versus 1. Remember, a rematch of last year's first round game. That one also won by the Tommies 15-1. They certainly are familiar with this type of situation. You got a face-off violation on the Bears, and on the Tommies. So Missouri State wins its first face-off of the day.
Now Missouri State needs to take care of the ball. Don't force it. I know you're down 7-0, but you can't get them all back in one series.
All starts with 1.
All starts with 1, and that's not what you want.
It's a turnover. There's an empty net for a second. Tommies are looking for it. And just missed by Vishems. He wanted his 4th of the day. But it's backed up by the Tommies, and they keep possession.
Tommy's very well coached. See the transition opportunity, some score in the settled sets. Some great opportunities off the face-off. They look very complete.
Nice pick, almost a nice pickup. Instead, a loose ball. Once again, the Tommies the first one to it.
4 minutes.
And there you go. It should have been a turnover.
Great save along the sideline.
Oh.
Eventually finds the cross of Scott Thomas in cage. Missouri State will try to clear here and try to clean things up. Get on the board for the first time this morning, this afternoon.
Oh,
quick double team and a flag.
That was slash to the helmet, got all of that one.
Free opportunity for Jake Parker. Parker roaming, still going. Bounce shot is scooped up, but that triggers the penalty.
Nice job from Parker just to keep his feet moving and take the pressure. But you see him there, he didn't get a lot on that shot. That's an easy save for the Tommies.
We got a slash, a 1 minute man up here for Missouri State, their first man up of the day.
The Bears just need a quality look. They need something positive.
A little confusion here on the Missouri State bench. Some discussion by the referees.
Not sure what the confusion was on the Bears sideline. Maybe a personnel issue, but they seem to be settled now. And the St. Thomas coaches look a little upset. I'm not sure about what. They're up 7-0. They've looked great so
Life
far.
is pretty good so far. The skip pass doesn't quite get through, and quickly St. Thomas can have a chance to try to kill this man up.
Yeah,
they can clear here.
You don't want to throw that skip pass. Your first or second pass, you got to get the defense moving, get them to settle in, and then you hit them with the skip pass. And when you try and throw it early in a possession like that, it's as easy as it gets for the defense of picking those off.
Eric Theis brings it in. And St. Thomas working man down here, just going to try to likely kill this penalty.
Yeah, here's the guy you want to kill it.
Swim move. Scoop back up to Trent Gamm. They're working around 9 seconds here on the man up. And so we're all back to even strength. An easy kill for St. Thomas. Shot just a little wide there. Sam Turner couldn't quite get that on cage, but backed up by the Tommies.
Nice move from Turner. I think he changes release point. He goes overhand on the run. A little bit more accurate. Better scoring chance. Look at this set play.
Oh, kick save from Thomas. But a second chance opportunity, and that one goes. It's Trent Gamm, the senior, and it's 8-0 Tommies.
That was a fantastically designed set piece there, coming off the pick. And give Thomas a ton of credit. Makes the first save, and then the rebound. It's
a tough situation.
Tough situation. Is fantastically a word? I didn't make that up.
Fantastically. I don't know, but we can use made-up words, right?
Well, I just did, so. All Tommies.
About a minute and a half left in this opening quarter. The first game of the day here on Field 3. The 1 versus 16 matchup in Division 2 in the MCLA National Tournament. The top seed, St. Thomas, has made easy work of Missouri State so far.
Face-off win, though, from Missouri State, which is
positive here.
Yeah, definitely. It's been all Tommies at the face-off X in this first quarter.
And they've used a stable of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Monte Bordeaux working with it here for Missouri State, the maroon and white. Working around to Jake Parker. This is really the first real settled situation we've seen from Missouri State in quite a while.
And this is a positive for them as they head in.
That shot sails high, but back up there, and the Bears keep. Under a minute to go.
As they head into the end of this quarter and into the second.
That pass just errant. And an over and back here, so it'll give it to St. Thomas. They'll have to go quickly here at the end of the first quarter. Chance in front, just a little wide.
Yeah,
Loose ball in the corner.
Even that right there was a great scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
I think if you're,
we got a little scuffle.
I think if you're Missouri State, you got to start thinking about a zone. I know you're down 8, but in your man-to-man sets, you've just been completely dissected.
Loose ball situation gives it to Missouri State. So with 10 seconds left. See if they can make quick work here, or if they'll go down into the second quarter down 8-0.
Well, that could have been ugly.
That could have been very ugly. And that does it for our opening quarter. All Tommies so far in round 1 of the MCLA National Tournament in Division 2. The top seed showing you why, 8-0 after the first quarter.
And if you're Missouri State, not a lot of positives there in the first quarter. You got a couple decent stops, but then you weren't able to clear it. Struggled at the face-off X against this stable from the Tommies. And on offense, you've turned the ball over. But, I think the message here is stay the course. We're not playing great. We're playing a great team. So we've got to be dialed in mentally. We've got to focus, and we've got to take care of that ball.
Take a look at this St. Thomas huddle. If you're Coach Brian Gross here with this team, at this point you're up 8-0. What do you tell your team about staying focused and trying to stay in this thing?
I think the biggest thing is you know what got you here. You're at 8-0, and this is about improving. You want to be playing your best lacrosse right now, so continue to work on your sets. You might want to try some plays a little deeper in the playbook to see, can you pull these out later in the tournament? And I don't want to sit, but I mean, you've completely dominated this game. You're up 8-0. But stay the course, keep running your systems, and this game is about playing your best lacrosse.
We've got the third member of our broadcast team, Josh Hawkins was listening in to that Missouri State huddle. Josh, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Coach Rich talking about being physical on the crease and bringing a shorty down to one of their attackmen and kind of throw their attack off a little bit, but very defensive-minded huddle. Trying to figure out this St. Thomas offense. I mean, you guys are seeing what's happening right now.
Did you hear any mention of zone? That's something that I've thought they might want to go to, even though they're down 8, but some sort of zone to try and protect that middle of the field?
I agree with you. I think a zone would be smart. I don't know if they have one in. They didn't talk about it in that huddle. All I heard was bringing a shorty down to play some close defense.
You ever played down low, Josh?
Oh, I love it. I love playing down low. Yeah.
Was it last year with Boston against Rochester?
Yep, I did it this year against. It's usually against the Bocklets that they send the shorty down to the Bocklets.
And you win that matchup, don't you? We'll make sure we tell
all the time, every single time.
like to see Missouri State get a possession, though. It feels like it's been lopsided. It's been one side of the field, the Tommies the whole time. So Missouri State.
Yeah, nice loose ball there.
Asking you shall receive.
Yeah, Josh. Colton Daniel scoops it up. Takes a big check, but able to keep possession. Great pressure here from this St. Thomas defense.
How active are the long sticks from St. Thomas? Just all over hands. Nothing's easy. Anytime you transfer, and there's a free play now for Missouri State.
Flag down. And this is exactly what you needed here to start the second quarter if you're the Bears. Free play. You get a man-up opportunity no matter what.
Don't be rushed. You could give your defense a rest.
Yeah. I think that's part of the thing for St. Thomas. They're getting this defense a little restless at the other end. They want some action. There's David Bierman.
See the defense from Tommies.
You
got to win your matchup. Got to be able to run by somebody. Not a bad look there. Just wasn't able to put it on target. But if you can't run by somebody, you can't create offense.
It's tough.
It's tough.
So that triggers the penalty. A 30-second interference call on St. Thomas. Sam Fuller, number 7, the long pole. Senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
Tommy's got a very Minnesota-heavy roster,
Yes.
which you would expect, but there's some good lacrosse being played in Minnesota at the high school levels.
And MCLA, or excuse me, had an MLL semifinal there a couple of years ago. Good crowd.
Obviously, some great hockey being played in the state of Minnesota as well, which is a great crossover sport. Hand-eye coordination, the stick skills.
True lacrosse, and Mike Gable doing a really good job in the Midwest.
A shot is saved easily there from St. Thomas. Drew Bauman in cage. But a loose ball goes out of bounds. Turnover, and still with an extra man opportunity. Chance, a little unsettled situation for Missouri State if they go quick.
Josh, we were talking about the altitude here. Obviously, you're coming from Denver.
Mr. Colorado now.
Exactly. Is there, you always hear about the altitude. For me, it never really bothered me, but there were some guys on our team that literally got the altitude sickness. They weren't feeling good. How have you adjusted, and is it a real thing?
Oh, it's a real thing, fellas. I struggled when I first moved to Denver, but I feel great now. When I get to sea level, I feel like I have lungs for days, but it's definitely a real thing. I think the biggest impact is when guys stop running, get to the sideline, try to catch their breath. It's like they're breathing through a sieve. It's just a little bit harder to catch your breath.
So what are some of the keys for these guys? How do you handle that if you're coming from sea level here to playing at altitude?
Water. Hydrate. Gotta hydrate all week long, especially when you're playing a lot of games in a couple days. It's all about the recovery and getting those liquids inside of you.
You a straight water guy? Got any
special
formulas?
I go water, a little bit of lemon, and apple cider vinegar now.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
The holistic approach.
They moved on from Pedialyte?
Yeah.
That was for his college days.
Too much sugar now. I'm watching the.
Are you getting older?
Watching the levels, yeah.
Visions, he's stripped of the ball. See if Missouri State can scoop it up.
There we go. No, I was just about to say, it looks like they're going to get a break. And
every ball just seems to find a St. Thomas stick. But ball goes out of bounds off the hit along the end line. Missouri State picks it up.
Really got to value these possessions. They haven't gotten many. You see they failed on their man-up opportunities, so every time they get the ball from here on out, they really got to capitalize and make something happen.
And you didn't realize where the sideline was there. Nick Eckert, the long stick midfielder. And it's a quick turnover back the other way.
Josh, how do you manufacture goals if you're not able to win matchups? And that's one of the things you talked about, the athleticism you're seeing from the Tommies and St. Thomas. Their midfielders are so big and athletic, and it seems like Missouri State, once they do get on offense and they're trying to initiate, they can't even beat their guys. How do you manufacture goals in that scenario?
You know, I think you need a spark. You know, usually that comes from the defensive end, a transition play. You know, maybe a goal off of a face-off, something to get their sideline a little bit hyped up too. Get the guys back into this game.
Yeah, try and get some transition opportunities.
Yep, saves like that will help too. Lift the defense and, you know, hopefully get a transition play that can kind of spark this team a little bit.
Tell you what, for as much as Thomas has been peppered, he's been pretty solid in cage for this Bears team. And just when I said that,
the booth.
Yeah, somehow that ball found its way all the way through. I believe Jack Stanchfield is going to get credit for that one. It was definitely a pass. He'll tell his friends later on Instagram that was a goal. It was a pass.
I think it might have got deflected just a little bit, the little old hockey redirect, right?
Yeah, right in front of the crease.
In front of the crease.
Didn't see it.
Were you a hockey player, Josh?
You know, I went to hockey sign-up, and my mom decided that I wasn't going to play because practice started at 4 a.m. So early ice time, and that was it. We went to the signups, and then no more. I wish I did, though. I mean, it translates so much. You see the poles out here. You know, a lot of the poles, you know, have that hockey background, and you notice it off the ground and with the stick skills. The sport really translates here.
It's very Canadian of you, Josh. You've been hanging out with Junior a lot out there in Denver.
Junior, Sean Evans, you know, couple legends.
Couple of Peterborough boys. Quarter number 2 here of our opening game of MCLA National Tournament Division II. St. Thomas, the top seed, up 9-0 here in the second quarter. Travis Eldridge, Greg Bice, Josh Hawkins along the sideline. Going to be here all afternoon for a very busy opening day of the MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour.
It's a good day to be out here.
It really couldn't have gotten any better weather.
No, it's beautiful. This is my first time spending some time here in Salt Lake City, and absolutely gorgeous setting.
Bears try to get fancy with it. It's a turnover. St. Thomas can't quite handle it. Things getting a little loose here in the second quarter. Good hustle play by the Bears.
It's been a much better quarter for the Bears. Only the one goal, the fluke goal that we saw. They're getting stops, they're forcing turnovers. Just got to find a way to put some shots on goal.
Yeah, they're trying to bring that short stick D midi down and lock off one of their attackmen, so it's working out a little bit right now for them.
Plenty more offensive sets and opportunities here for Missouri State in the second quarter, just haven't quite been able to cash in. Long distance shot, tough angle for Justice Greenberger, but there's a backup.
And once again, you see the Tommies defense all over the hands. The shot wasn't on cage, was altered by the long stick check to the gloves. As a defenseman, you always want to be on that bottom hand.
Good hustle play along the sideline, but it finds a St. Thomas stick. And a tough play around the midfield stripe. Unsettled situation. Tommies can't quite capitalize.
Got a push.
And push. St. Thomas keeps.
Empty net, just missed there.
Really good chance. Trent Gamm looking for his second goal of the afternoon.
For St. Thomas, they haven't looked crisp this quarter offensively.
No, it's been a little bit more sloppy.
It was a clinic they put on in the first quarter, and we talked about trying to improve and continue to try and play your best lacrosse. And you know, when you have a big lead like that, sometimes it's hard for players to stay focused and dial in.
You could see the Bears adjustment here they made in the second quarter as the shorty down there on the attackman trying to lock off, take away one of their goal scorers.
Shot sails a little wide.
It's amazing how effective locking off one player can be.
Seriously.
And just taking away a groove and a rhythm. And I called the machine game the other day against the Hounds, and the Hounds locked off Marcus Holman, and it took the machine completely out of their rhythm.
Speaking of MCLA programs, got a chance to see Utah as we've got a flag here.
Marcus Holman, Utah coach.
Assistant coach.
11 goals the other day. Makes sense to lock him off.
Yeah, he had 0 and then when they locked him off, so it's a pretty good strategy.
Brings
for
the
Hounds.
average back to normal there for Marcus.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, John Grant Jr. wasn't mad about either.
Junior wasn't?
No, he wasn't mad.
Oh.
Well, he's got like 1,000 other records.
Yeah,
so
I mean, giving up one single-game MLL record.
How about Utah and what they've been able to accomplish in the MCLAs and then going D1
starting next year?
We've really run that program like a D1 program the last couple of years. Just being around those guys, I mean, they are all bought in. They love it. You know, they're really trying to bring that program, you know, to where they, you know, want. And they're doing it already, bringing in like 28 new recruits this past season. And I got to see them play down in Colorado. They're just athletic, and they find a way to win, and they're just so well coached.
Is that a blueprint for other schools out west that want to go to the Division I level?
I think, you know, I think so. It's tough because it's not so often you get a group like that together.
Yeah.
That high quality of a group, guys that are still playing, you know, professionally and coaching. It's tough to get a group like that together. They figured it out, and you know, we're witnessing, you know, a program on the rise.
St. Thomas keeps possession, under 6 minutes to go in this first half. Up 9-0, looking to add on.
That is the issue when you get a shorty locking off an attackman and then that guy actually gets the ball. It's a little bit tough. You got to slide, be ready to react behind him. There's a goal.
Extra pass, and Eric Theis finds the corner. A snipe to make it 10-0.
Mark Nat'l again with the feed. He's one of those big athletic midfielders. He's been the player of the game thus far, in my opinion, for the Tommies, just making plays, calling his own number. And there you see the unselfish play. He could have shot it. The no-look flip sets his teammate up, and then his teammate just hangs that thing in the corner.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. Theis with that long hair. Kind of looks like Thor.
You see the Avengers yet?
Have not, no.
It's a good movie.
I'm not a big comic book movie guy. I think I might be the only one. I like the Batmans.
Batman, good, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was great. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but anytime, I mean, those movies are great. It's good entertainment.
Going to the movies now, so expensive. It's got to be a good movie to get there.
Face-off win for the Bears.
Five straight face-off wins here for Missouri State. Problem hasn't been that here in the second quarter. It's been what they've done after they've gotten a big collision here right on along the sideline. Both sides pumped up.
Everybody loves a big hit.
Yeah. But it's St. Thomas that gets the last laugh because they get possession.
And great job from the Tommies of the hit there, leading with the shoulder. Josh, were you a football player?
I was running back and cornerback.
Okay, so you didn't do a lot of tackling, but one of the things that I think is a bigger storyline in lacrosse right now is, are we going to allow hitting on any level? It seems like even when you lead with your shoulder at the college, even the professional level, it's definitely at the high school level, it's going to be an automatic flag. Even if you go shoulder to shoulder and you don't hit a guy high, it gets flagged, in my opinion.
Yeah, anything that looks violent, even if it's a, you know, quote-unquote good hit, you know, a fundamental hit, you know, where they're not leading with their head or cross-checking, Even if it looks violent, they're going to call it. I agree, and I'm not a good guy to ask or talk about hits because I'm getting penalties all the time. I think nothing's a penalty.
It's a love-hate relationship, and it's mostly hate with Josh and referees. Thomas stares that one down, snags it.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is because we're saying we play a contact sport, and then you see big hits have always been part of our game.
Right.
But now it's if you deliver a legal hit, you're getting flagged. So maybe I don't know. Do you just take hits out? You say no body checking, all stick checking? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I mean, so much of it has become the reaction to the hit.
Right.
You could have two hits that are the exact same force, but if one player more violently goes down, it triggers a flag more often than not.
You threw the body around, Greg.
I had a few hits in my day. I was penalized a couple times on those hits as well. I was fined by. You ever been fined by the league for a hit?
A hit for other things.
Okay.
One time I didn't take my helmet penalty box, and I got a fine for that.
That's a fine?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. So we've got a timeout for Missouri State here. St. Thomas up 10-0. Travis Eldridge, Greg Beisch, Josh Hawkins roaming the sideline. Game 1 of 4 we will have with you here this morning, this afternoon, into this evening from Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's a good timeout for the Bears. Just take a deep breath, guys. We're not where we want to be. We know that. And you talked about their short bench. You see they played so much defense.
Yeah.
Give your defense a rest. I know you're going to get halftime here in a couple minutes, but try and draw something up. Try and get something positive going into halftime. You need a spark.
As for St. Thomas, the coaching hasn't stopped on that sideline. Coach Brian Gross and company and on his staff. You can tell there's a little bit of frustration about how sloppy the second quarter's been.
Right. And for Coach Gross, he realizes, this is a long tournament. You want to win and move on, right? You're in a situation where it looks like you're probably going to be able to seal the deal here and move on. But are we getting better? Are we playing our best lacrosse? And you want your guys to have that mental edge and that focus, and that's what it's all about because they obviously have the skill.
Yeah.
And so when you find yourself, let's say you find yourself in a game in the next round where you're up 5, are you going to be able to maintain and keep the foot on the gas, or are you guys going to take a break and the next thing you know you got a tie ball game moving into the fourth quarter?
Josh, what do you got from the Missouri State huddle?
Yeah, Coach Rich talking about valuing the ball, valuing the possession, their defense playing a lot right now, so giving them a break, and they got some water in them, and valuing the ball in this and trying to stick one here and start something offensively for Missouri State here.
So they get the offensive set here, trying to get on the board for the first time today. Colton Daniel working with it.
Calling the invert, which I think is a great strategy.
He's got a short stick. Feed in front. They were looking for an extra pass, but they keep possession. That shot gets off just a little wide. Monte Bordeaux couldn't quite get that one on frame.
Nice little set play.
Daniel swinging it back out top to Bierman. Shot is saved. A good opportunity there for Missouri State.
Easily their best possession offensively of the first half.
Yeah, definitely. They need to string more offensive possessions together like that. They'll start to see some goals go in.
Agreed.
Let's go, Let's go, D! 230! 230!
Nearing 2 minutes to go in the opening half. The 116 matchup in Division II. So far, this one going very similar to last year's meeting. Also an opening round game between these two schools. That one, of course, won by St. Thomas 15-1.
We'll see when the Tommies decide to attack. Might want to try and milk this all the way down if possible.
We've yet to see a shot clock today.
Yeah, they might want to continue to hold until they, oh, we're going to have a moving pick, and it's coming back for the Bears.
Go, go, go!
Seen an emphasis of those, especially in the college game.
That's another one
Division
that's
one
baffling
so far
to me
this
is
year.
the way they call the pick. Sometimes it's a moving screen, sometimes it's not. I don't know. Josh, any insight there?
Yeah, I think it comes down to the refs. You know, they got to call it fair for both teams. You see a lot of teams that pick a lot and play that two-man game. You got to call it the same way you call a pick on both ends. So I think it's situational, you know, with the refs and what they think a moving pick is or not.
Seems like it's been inconsistent though this year, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Enough lacrosse here this year. You can have an opinion.
I can have an opinion. Whether people listen is a whole another issue.
Nice move from Jared King to get it into the box.
Again, from Missouri State, value the ball, value this possession, get another good shot off like they did last possession, and they can start to see the ball fall. Be nice to get one here before halftime.
I know you're down 10, but I still think you hold for one.
Definitely.
About 30 seconds left in the first half. One-man show is stopped by Bauman.
Not a lot on that shot.
No. Loose ball finds its way into a St. Thomas stick. Enough for one quick opportunity here for the Tommies.
I don't think that our game clock,
It's about
obviously,
15 seconds
okay.
off.
I was going to say, because you see we're frozen on one on your screen. I believe there's about 10 seconds
10
left.
seconds here. 5 seconds. A nice defensive play by the Bears. And they will wave that one off. They say, was it still in the Tommy's stick?
Are they calling it a goal?
We got
Refs are talking about it.
the one ref said no out toward closer to midfield, and now they wave it off. No goal. So we go into the half, a 10-0 Tommy's lead.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye? That when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
All right. See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Welcome back to the MCLA National Championships powered by Under Armour. The first game of the day here in Division II on Field 3. St. Thomas with a 10-0 lead. The top seed taking care of the 16-seeded Bears from Missouri State so far here today. Travis Eldridge, Greg Bice with you in the booth. We've got Josh Hawkins, current member of the Denver Outlaws, roaming the sidelines. It's been a fun first half for us to watch. And guys, just the initial impressions for what you've seen from this Tommies squad, the top seed in the Division II bracket.
I think you're looking at a team that's extremely well coached. They're very athletic. They do the little things. They're winning draws. They're making saves, and they just look very complete. And it's one of those things where for Missouri State, the athleticism difference clearly jumps out at you. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, St. Thomas is #1 seed for a reason. That, like you said, they're athletic, they're put together top to bottom, defense, offense. They're winning possessions at the draw. For Missouri State, again, just a lot of defense for them in that first half. Really, really good possession by them at the end of the first half. If they can start to put more of those possessions together, we'll see some goals from them. But, it's just St. Thomas dominating right now.
They got to get some draws, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something that they got better at there toward the end of that first half. Missouri State able to win a number of those faceoffs and get some early possessions. This, of course, is a rematch of last year's first-round game. If you weren't with us in the first half, that game also won by the Tommies 15-1. They set a record for fewest goals given up in a tournament game, holding this Missouri State team to just 1 goal, looking to try to replicate that in this second half. And guys, this Tommies team came into this tournament battle-tested, one of 6 teams from the Upper Midwest Lacrosse Conference to be in this Division II bracket, and it's one of the reasons they're this top seed.
Yeah, that conference is stacked, and obviously winning that conference, and they deserve the #1 seed, very deserving. No controversy there. We're talking about the controversy surrounding the selection of the Division I playoff bracket at halftime, were we? And my Buckeyes didn't get in.
I can't believe Villanova got in.
Tough go for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Just 2 teams getting into the tournament.
See Missouri State sending the pole out.
And St. Thomas, great hustle play to get possession.
Good heads-up play to hockey that ball. Give the old slapperooski to a teammate.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments Missouri State makes coming out in this half. We saw one just there, Greg, with the pole, the long pole, taking a face-off, trying to muck it up in the middle of the field and trying to get some ground balls for Missouri State.
Yeah, when you're that long stick and you take that draw, you just want to keep it loose. Probably not going to win it. Let your wings come in, and like you said, make it a 50-50 ground ball, and then you got to really hustle and let your wings go to work.
Got a cause turnover here for Missouri State. Chance to clear.
Here's another adjustment.
Cooper Kelly comes to get it.
Kelly coming out of the midfield. Oh, how about that?
Nice check. That's one for the highlight reel.
I love a good takeaway. You don't see him that often anymore.
And a chance to settle in once again for St. Thomas. They were really clicking in that first quarter. Got a little sloppier in the second. See which team comes out of halftime for the Tommies. Nice skip pass. The shot never got through.
Yeah, the release was a little too long there on that shot. Got to catch and shoot.
They got a hold on St. Thomas on the loose ball, so Missouri State possession.
They need to clear this.
Justice Greenberger takes care of it.
It's a great name, Justice.
Right?
I like that.
Great name.
Laying down the law.
Look at this pressure again from the Tommies.
Defense has been tenacious.
You know, it's a lot of fun to play as a defenseman for a team that likes to pressure and likes to push out. A lot of times you see the flip side of that where you're packing it in, you're playing tight, you're not extending. But when you got a 6-foot pole, you want to swing it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good chance for Missouri State, but they can't capitalize.
And St. Thomas not going to take any pressure off. We see them pushing out with their poles, and head coach at halftime saying they want to keep that pressure on and keep the pedal down. Don't take anything off, just because they're up right now. Keep pushing hard and keep pressuring out on defense.
That skip pass.
I believe it was deflected.
Yeah, and so St. Thomas will keep it along the end line. Nicholas Bundy.
Missouri State settled in. They're definitely playing much better than they were in that first quarter specifically. Might have been a little bit nervous, a little awestruck knowing that you're the 16 versus the 1 seed, but they've looked so much better since that hot start from the Tommies.
Another turnover here, scooped up in transition by Cooper Kelly. Long distance shot high, and it draws a flag. Jake Parker wanted it from way downtown, and in the process, he'll get his team a man up.
St. Thomas defense is so good. They're long, they're lanky. Talk about the pressure, they're pressuring out. Those are the types of plays that are going to get Missouri State back in this game. Those transition plays, they can stick one of those while their defense is unsettled and not organized. Capitalize on those opportunities, those situations. Missouri State can start to put something on the board.
Yeah, that was a good.
Got to hit the cage too.
Yep, got to hit the cage. You don't score many that aren't on goal.
Well said.
Think about it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, guys. Riley Baumgartner getting the penalty for the Tommies.
Yeah, the shots that Missouri State has had a couple decent looks. They just, like you said, they haven't been either one on cage or two of the ones that have been on cage haven't had a lot on them. Here we go.
Another great defensive play by this Tommies team. And it finds its way into a stick. Sam Hoover gets it to Charlie Venable in an unsettled situation. They are a man down, the Tommies. So they settle things up.
Sam Fuller, the long stick midfielder, number 7, is wreaking all kinds of havoc between the lines for the Tommies. He's all over guys' hands. He's good off the ground. He's so aggressive.
And we're back to even strength. The Tommies kill another man down opportunity. Oh, and the celebration to boot. Charlie
the Fortnite
Venable,
celly.
all the way around the world.
Yeah, I'm not. One, that was a fantastic goal. Let's start there. 2, obviously, I'm a little bit older than you guys. I didn't know what was going on. Was that the Scarecrow? What was that?
That was a Fortnite celebration. Fortnite, that video game that everyone's playing these days.
So explain that to what.
Are you a big Fortnite guy, Josh?
I'm not, but it's huge on the team. All the younger guys are playing it.
You're not one of the younger guys in Major League Lacrosse anymore?
No, man. I'm a vet. I'm
like 26?
28. 28.
You've aged well. You've aged well.
6 years in the league now.
Man.
It's because he finally cut off all the hair.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
very mature.
Grew up a little bit.
So what is that? What is it? When would you see that move in the game?
I think if you, I don't know, Greg.
You knew what it was from, so
I knew what it was from.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all doing it.
Get Miles Jones on the call. He's a big Fortnite guy.
Does he even play lacrosse anymore? I feel like he's only playing Fortnite.
Mainly Fortnite. Missouri State gets a possession here, down 11-0 in this first round game.
I'm not a I'm like more of like a bridge, backgammon.
The old school board games. Back in my day.
That goal, by the way, was scored man down.
Yeah.
It was just penalty had just been released.
Just released.
Let's see if the Bears can get one on the board here.
See, just not able to run by your defender, create opportunities. You got to get them rotating and sliding.
Maxwell Heiss lost it.
Felt playing with a free hand. Did you see what that was?
Yeah, I think it was a free hand.
How about the Tommies keeping the pressure up on the defensive end? You got an 11-0 lead. I was telling a story last night when I was a freshman in basketball, playing varsity basketball, so that tells you how good we were that year. But we played this team, and they full court pressed us the entire game. We lost 125-50.
Wow.
But just the whole game, just relentless pressure.
Venable wanted more. His shot off back and backed up by the Tommies. That's like one of those that ends up on SportsCenter for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Running it up.
I mean, that was one of those things. That was the style they played, and the same thing for the Tommies. This is the style that they play. They play that high-pressure D, and so, you know, you want to continue to improve. You want to continue to get better. And if that's the defense you play, you only got 11-goal lead, you stay in it.
Skip pass up top. Finally gets the shot off. Did it go?
Near post.
It did. It's Cater Leasing, the freshman, getting in the scoring from Maple Grove, Minnesota. And it's 12-zip Tommies.
You can see the difference in body language when you look at the Dodgers of Missouri State and the Dodgers of St. Thomas. That last goal, dodging north-south, powerful dodge, you know, finishing towards the cage, whereas you see Missouri State getting pressured out and just not being able to run by their guys.
And no separation.
Right.
You were able. Are you still able? I know you were talking about how much older you're getting. Can you still separate?
I could still separate.
Okay.
The altitude has helped me in Colorado. I've lost some weight, feeling a little lighter. I think the haircut helped a little bit too. Feeling fast, feeling in shape. I don't know if I'm as fast as Travis though. He's running marathons now.
Well, it's more of a slow and steady deal than a sprint.
When you get to my age, you're not running at all. Your knees can't take it. Your back, just trying to hang in there, stay together.
Nice sportsmanship
like
there here
that
on the sideline. So you got a 30-second man up opportunity here for St. Thomas. 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. I have a chance to add on to this lead. But remember, when you look at St. Thomas here, this is the first game, and as the top seed, they're a team that expects to go all the way to the championship. You got to play 4 games over the course of this week if you want to win the title. That's a lot of lacrosse, and something you got to stay sharp here because you got to come back tomorrow if you win and be sharp once again.
And for the Tommies, you want to go deeper into your bench, save some legs. It is a long week, so make sure you're playing guys, you're going into that bench. And you know what else? Rewarding those guys who've been with you all season, getting a chance to play in a playoff game.
Especially with their style of play, playing high pressure, running fast. You need to get, you know, deeper into the bench, especially in these early games if you're, you know, got a big lead.
And Missouri State was able to kill off the man up, but a quick turnover and we're right back to the St. Thomas side of the field and another chance.
I love to hear the Tommies bench with the echoing of the calls.
And we've got another flag.
It's Lacrosse 101, communication. Call your plays, call your sets, and it takes the whole sideline to echo those coaches' calls and make sure that your team is on the same page.
Yeah, the whole St. Thomas bench really into it. Everyone's paying attention. Yeah, deep bench. Everyone's paying attention. Like you said, echoing the calls. You look at the Missouri State bench, and it's a little bit more lackadaisical. Guys are hanging out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So another man-up opportunity for St. Thomas.
Good save.
Scott Thomas, not to be confused with the team, makes the kick save.
He's been the player of the game for Missouri State. He's seen a ton of shots and made a lot of high-quality saves.
Shot sails a little wide. Visions the skip pass out top. Bundy took his eye off of it. Tries to shovel it in. 7 seconds left on the extra man. Penalty is released, and another save low from Thomas. He's been really good on those low shots here today.
Yeah, the ones that his defense has given him a chance to see, to locate, good angles, he's made those saves. The problem is he's seen so many that are right on the doorstep and guys with their hands free, not under pressure. And then we've seen this too, the trouble in the clear after he does make a stop.
Scooped up by the Tommies. Sam Turner turns the corner. Feed in front. Nice kick save from Thomas.
Tell you what, when you see as many shots as Kelly has, as a goalie, sometimes it's easier to play that way to find your own rhythm because you're seeing so many shots versus the guy that, you know, doesn't see about 3 or 4 shots a game, and some of the ones that go in, you're like, how did that go in? But the guy basically been standing on the other side of the field for 20 minutes.
So St. Thomas content to take a little bit more time here. Once again, they've essentially held the ball for the entirety of this third quarter. 5 minutes left to go.
Josh, what do you think about letting some D middies get some O runs here? I think you'd be all about that.
Yeah, 100%. Anytime your O middies aren't running by guys, D middies, it's always a good opportunity to throw them out there and see if they can run by some guys.
Turner couldn't quite squeeze that one in there, but there for the backup. St. Thomas.
Although they are playing a lot of defense right now, so.
Yes.
We got Joel Iverson looking to cross up his man.
See a lot of new faces on the field for the Tommies right now. Talks about going deep in that bench and keeping your guys fresh, and then also rewarding guys a little deeper on the bench that haven't been getting as much playing time in the season.
It's a pass back out top to Iverson. Still great hustle play to keep it alive. Benjamin Toffin turns the corner.
Good luck.
Feed in front couldn't be handled. Missouri State finally able to scoop it up.
Yeah, it was a great pass, just wasn't able to handle.
And we got a flag.
We have one official calling it loose, the other calling it with possession. So
I got possession on that one. He got the ground ball and then got pushed from behind.
I think the officials are going to agree with you here, Josh.
Yeah.
We're going to have a man-up opportunity from Missouri State. Missouri State hasn't even been able to generate good looks on their man-up unit.
One-minute penalty on Matt Herkerbach. One of the few players on this team not from Minnesota, hailing from Illinois. Went to Carmel Catholic High School. Man up opportunity for Missouri State, but we've seen this over and over again.
I don't want to throw it that early.
Yeah, you'd like to see them spin it around, everyone get a touch, and take their time to get into it. They force the crease, jam it in there, turnover. other way, St. Thomas.
Yeah, the defense didn't have to rotate once. They didn't have to move. They were still in their initial formation. We talked earlier, Josh, about that skip pass and on the man up. You want to throw it after you get it around a couple times, get the defense to move a couple times, and then hit them with that skip pass.
Exactly. Get the defense moving, rotating out of their positions, and that skip pass is deadly.
Nice swim move by Toffin.
You ever play man up, Josh?
You know, I tried to get on man up team, scout man up team, all 4 years of college. Coach Tommies teased me every practice. I got in there a couple times, but I wasn't a starter for the scout man up team. I wish I was. I always try to weasel my way onto that squad.
We're back to even strength here. St. Thomas able to kill off the extra man. And another offensive set. Winds and fires. Nice save there by Thomas.
Looks like the Tommies got their first midfield unit back on. It's a little surprising to me.
Keeping them fresh.
You'd want to keep them fresh and probably not play them at this point, but what do I know?
It's still a third quarter.
Yeah, keep the boys running a little bit. Get them some runs still, but yeah, I'd like to see them go to their second, third midfield lines and get those guys some runs too.
I think with the way your defense is playing, you feel confident with a 12-goal lead.
Yeah, you got to feel confident with this lead, especially the way Missouri hasn't been able to maintain possession right now.
Right.
Tommies just have really disrupted any type of flow that the Bears could have hoped for offensively. David Bierman and Shane Clausen playing pitch and catch. Clausen fires one. Shot wide as we're under a minute to go. 45 seconds in the third quarter.
You see the low angle for Bowerman. That's an easy look, an easy save. What is that? Is that Fortnite?
What was that?
I think that was, honestly.
We have in-game Fortnite
that was the first in-game Fortnite I've ever seen.
But it was effective. It worked defensively.
It's like a scare tactic.
And now Nat'l comes up with the caused turnover.
He's a good-looking athlete.
Great sequence, and they cash in at the other end. Toffin, the receiving end of a beautiful tic-tac-toe pass. St. Thomas is clicking on all cylinders.
And Nat'l, it starts with the Fortnite celebration in-game on defense to the turnover. And I don't know what Missouri State was doing there. Their defender was 20 yards off of the point attackman. That makes his decision easy, and then tic-tac-toe, the empty net. That's beautiful lacrosse.
Yeah, you see how crisp their passing is, and you're right. It starts with that Fortnite celly, and then a nice ground ball, and then just the crisp passing upfield, unselfish to hit the backside, wide open as Thomas was pulled out of the cage.
Yeah, we know you would have shot it and not made the extra pass.
Josh was going coast to coast if he does the Fortnite celly.
Green light, fellas.
Oh, here we go. Get one.
Greenberger.
Oh, just not a lot on that.
4 seconds left. And that brings us to the end of this third quarter. It is all St. Thomas in the opening round here in Division II. The MCLA National Championships will step aside. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here in the MCLA National Tournament.
I'm Greg Gurenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Welcome back to opening round coverage of the MCLA National Championships powered by Under Armour. This is the 1 versus 16 matchup in Division II. St. Thomas, the Tommies, the top seed in this bracket with a big lead entering the fourth quarter. Travis Eldridge, Josh Hawkins roaming the sideline. Greg Bice here as well as a 13-0 lead to start this fourth quarter for the Tommies. But Greg, we were talking about Missouri State and their goalie, Scott Thomas, 14 saves in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, he's obviously seen a ton of rubber today and made the saves that he should. Just unfortunately for him, he's seen a ton of shots and a lot in close. I thought that was going to be a scoring opportunity for Missouri State. Another bright spot for Missouri State. I feel like they've done much better at the face-off X since that first quarter. So that's another bright spot for them. But they got to find a way to put some quality shots on cage.
They've got a flag down here, so a free opportunity. Try to get on the board.
You guys mentioned Scott Thomas, the Missouri State goalie, actually pulled for this fourth period and put in the backup goalie, Flynn. Corbin Flynn now in cage.
That's probably more of a product of the situation and the number of shots he's seen versus the way, because he played great.
Yeah, he had a great day. Give him a break, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll tell you what, being a goalie is, you got to be crazy. Am I wrong?
I could do it.
No, you're right. You're right.
You see actually the strategy from Missouri State here. They have their goalie locking off an attackman, so there's actually no one in the cage, and then they have their defender free roaming at the 50 to just try and cause a turnover. You ever seen that before?
I have never seen that, but I like it. Hey, be aggressive.
I do too.
Do whatever you can do to try anything to get back into this game. Make a play.
Ooh! Extra man opportunity, and they ring the pipe.
Shot off the pipe.
Cooper Kelly really wanted that one. Frustrated after that.
Yeah, they needed that one. Just been that kind of day for Missouri State. Oh no, airmail.
Cooper Kelly sailed that one over. Could build at least like a tin roof or something with the amount of pipes we've seen at that end of the field today. St. Thomas going to take their time. Start of this fourth quarter, a 13-goal cushion.
So it's essentially like an automatic 10-man.
Yeah.
10-man ride, and then.
But they kind of bailed out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a solid 10-man. I would like to see a 10-man ride, add some pressure as St. Thomas tries to bring the ball over and clear. Do whatever you can. Make some adjustments in this fourth, like a 10-man, like a zone defense,
You're looking for
and see what you can do. Yeah, change a little bit. Yeah.
And so we're back to even strength. St. Thomas able to kill off the extra man. Wild shot. Connor Olson won it all, that one.
I was in the St. Thomas huddle in between periods there, and they're not happy with the way they're playing right now. They want to keep that pressure. Their defense talking about being more aggressive. Their offense demanding more, that they're better than this, that they should be capitalizing on more of their opportunities, not forcing the crease. Multiple dodges in their possessions is what they're preaching on offense right now, that they need to be better, and they're leading right now.
by 13. But hey, their goal isn't to win this game. Their goal is to win the tournament.
Win a national championship.
Right. Missouri's
Gunnar
off the sides. We'll see if they get caught.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Some frustration on the Missouri State side. Unsettled situation back the other way. A BTB finish. Olsen getting creative to make it a 14-0 lead.
Great handle. Pass was deflected, scoops it up, and then the BTB.
Yeah, little frustration from Missouri State during that play. Players yelling at each other. You like to see guys stay together in these moments, even when you're down. But Missouri State, the wheels are falling off the bus now a little bit.
One thing I always try and remember when I was a player many, many years ago, and even as a coach now, is when you got guys you know they're not intentionally trying to make a mistake, right?
Right.
So you yelling at a guy or you getting on a guy who's already down doesn't ever make things better. Always makes things worse.
Exactly.
I've been yelled at a few times.
I think we all have.
I deserved it, though. I always deserved it.
How many face-off guys have we seen St. Thomas throw out there? It's got to be at least 5.
Yeah, 5.
4 or 5. Caused turnover here.
Here's where you see that aggressive set with that lock and then the automatic pressure from the long pull paying off.
Yeah.
Nice handle there from Bierman.
Timeout.
Touches it in the box, and Missouri State wants to pause things. 11 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. St. Thomas, the top seed in this tournament, Division II, looking very comfortable. And we will be back with more fourth quarter action here. You're watching the MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour. Welcome back to the MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour. You're watching the 16 versus 1 matchup in the first round of the Division II bracket. The top seed, St. Thomas Tommies, taking care of business so far against Missouri State. They've looked every bit as good as that #1 seed. Travis Eldridge, Greg Bice, Josh Hawkins roaming the sideline. Josh, you were just in that Missouri State huddle. Anything that they're trying to take away here down 14-0?
Yeah, Coach Rich only cares about the next quality shot, getting that next quality shot, and just, you know, nothing holistic about this game or anything else. Just that next play, that next possession. Got his middies out there that he wanted. They're going to look for a good shot here on the possession, but again, just looking for a quality shot. That's all he cares about right now.
Looking for a small victory here at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Missouri State starts after their own timeout. Nice move in front. Oh. The save once again. Drew Bauman hasn't seen a lot, but when he has, he's been up to the challenge.
That was the quality shot there.
It was a good hard dodge. Got to the front of the cage. Just unfortunate. I mean, great save. St.
Thomas settles things down. Nice move. Feet in front, and that's going to be a crease violation.
Did you hear the coaching staff from St. Thomas was calling for yellow, 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 and then they had the quick shot. And that's not yellow.
We got a flag down on the play.
I think we've all been there as coaches.
Yeah, a little colorblind.
Yeah. The best is when you call for the yellow and you want your team to pull it out and they score.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I meant score. That was great, too.
The no, yeah.
Yeah, the no, yeah. That's definitely
no, yes.
Just the way you drew it up.
I had a lot of those in my day. No.
Yeah, you're definitely that guy. You're definitely that guy. You're running down, feeling good. You're on a 60-yard, the tail end of a 60-yard run. You're shooting it.
How many times do you think Steve Kerr, the coach of the Warriors, said that before he just realized Steph Curry was going to make it from half court every time?
Probably none. He probably watched him warm up and said,
yeah, all
just
right,
let him shoot
sure.
it.
There's an offsides call against Missouri State. The man-up opportunity. And the Tommies cash it in. Sam Turner.
That's a nice finish from Turner. Bad approach from the defenseman. Gets underneath, but then fights back for the top side. And sweet release. Yeah, a lot of smiles on that Tommies sideline right now.
A lot of smiles, a lot of Fortnite celebrations.
Know what's going on in the hotel later on.
I can definitively say that I will never play that game.
We'll see. We're here with a couple days. I mean,
Did you bring?
I got it on my phone.
Oh, you can play it on your phone?
Got it on your phone, yeah.
I thought it was like an Xbox or PlayStation or something.
From what I heard, the phone is not super easy.
It's very hard, Travis.
So you haven't won any
No.
Fortnite
Nope.
battles.
I'll be honest. I just started playing. I'm not that into it.
No.
It's hard.
What platform is it on?
Greg, you're asking me too many questions about this game. You got to get Thomas Kelly on the mic. He's the guy.
He's the guy?
Face-off guy for the Outlaws.
Yeah, once I got married, that was the end of my video gaming.
Out the window.
Yeah, shut it down.
Good husband.
Yeah. Now that I have 3 kids, I can't imagine ever having the free time to do that.
Another Tommies possession. Edging in on 9 minutes left in this opening round game. It's pretty safe to say Thomas is going to find their way into the second round here tomorrow.
Nice ground ball work.
Nice scoop. Justice Greenberger. Physical play. Justice draws the flag. And this will trigger the penalty.
D. Mitty's still hungry, going hard.
Still hungry.
Patrick Stixel was all over Greenberger.
You expect nothing less from a defensive midfielder. Guys are gritty and tough and love to compete. It's the hardest position to play on the defensive side of the field, besides goalie, obviously.
Yeah.
One minute man up for Missouri State. Let's see if they can cash in on one here.
They did get a good look last time. They rung it off the post.
Did. There's this guy, Cooper Kelly. Good shot up top.
Just a bit outside.
Almost took his teammate's head off. .30 seconds left on the extra man. Kelly couldn't get it past the keeper.
Looks like he's hurt, too. Is he getting up? If he's all right.
Unsettled the other way. Maybe goal-saving play. And got Cooper Kelly still down at the other end. Referees stop it.
And they still have 10 seconds on the man up. Not sure what happened to Kelly. He got the shot off and then dropped immediately. Let's hope he's all right.
Looks to be feeling better as he jogs off.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him.
So still 10 more seconds to capitalize on this penalty. Looking for that first goal today.
They got a quick hitter. Now's the time to go to it.
It's the right opportunity. Couldn't be handled in traffic. And ground ball.
You see
by the Tommies.
You had 4 Tommies on the ball to 1 Bear. Were you a big eye black guy, Josh, or are you?
I've never worn eye black.
Ever?
Yeah, never.
Not even like Little League?
Nope. Pop Warner, nothing. Football, nothing. Never.
Man.
I don't know why. I never got into it.
It's interesting.
You know Kylie Ohlmiller? She goes like
full war she gets the full war paint going. I think it was because I never wanted to clean it off after.
Well, that's, I'm looking at these young men running off the field. And they've got some interesting designs with the eye black. I remember in high school, I tried for our state championship game. I tried to do the. Do you remember John Randall, the defensive lineman and he used to do like the Ultimate Warrior eye black, like down. Yeah, I tried to do that once, and I walked out onto the team bus, and my coach looked at me and said, "No," and I turned around and washed it off.
Had to take it all off. Oh,
it took me a long time too. I was like, "This is sweet. I'm going to look so tough, and people are going to be scared."
Got Nick Eckert, who went down, number 7.
Looks like he's all right.
From Missouri State. Good to see that. Long stick midfielder.
I think the best eye black I saw was Josh Dion when he played for Avon Old Farms.
Man, you're going back to Josh Dion high school days.
Yeah.
Dating
Founders League would put an eye black mustache.
Okay.
Wow.
Eye black mustache on his top lip.
Was it like what style of
the curly
curls
at
the end?
Yeah, put the curls at the end. Yeah.
Huh? I've never seen that.
It was less intimidation.
What do you just look at him and laugh? And
I don't. There's no way Coach John Danowski at Duke was going to let him do that once he got to Durham.
No, I think that went away. Yeah.
Chance in front, and that was it.
Gosh, they just can't buy a break.
It has been that kind of day for the Bears. And then he loses his stick.
It's going to go the way of St. Thomas again. Man, how unlucky is that? On the doorstep, one-on-one off the post.
All day.
Eye black mustache.
It's definitely something I never expected when you started that story.
Good ride. You'd love to see that they're still working.
Nice catch.
Still competing.
Here comes Bierman. Dodges and
Hey!
scores.
There it is.
There we go.
The Bears are on the board.
And this starts with the ride. And this is a reflection of culture and coaching, the fact that they're down 15-0 and they're still fighting and still competing, able to force the turnover and then find the back of the net. I know you're not going to win this game, but it does feel good to get on the board.
Yeah, bench being positive. You see the excitement from Missouri State bench as they score their first goal.
Cool moment there. See Bierman getting some hugs. Some of these guys, it'll be their final time suiting up in a college uniform.
Yeah, as an athlete, you know you got a finite number of games in your career. You never know how many that is, and so try and take advantage and enjoy every game you get to be a part of.
So if the score stands like this for the final 6 minutes, it will be the exact same score that we saw last year between these two in the opening round.
6 minutes! 6 minutes!
6 minutes, so it looks like our game clock is accurate. A minor issue with that in the first.
Feed in front. Stopped here by Greenberger. Surprised that ball didn't go all the way out. This feels relatively slick, well cut.
Another hard there.
Yeah, they're finally starting to get topside, starting to win some matchups. It's too late in the game at this point.
It's Jake Parker, freshman. Tall, lanky frame.
Gonna go with the double shorty invert.
It's a move.
Nice.
Couldn't get that one to go.
Josh, you shoot bounce shots as a defensive midfielder?
Bounce shots always. First 2 goals this year for me were bounce shots so far.
Nice.
So yeah,
You've got
First
2 goals this year.
First 2.
the first 2.
How many goals you got right now?
I've got 4 goals, I think.
How many
don't know
shots?
how
How
many-
many shots?
I'd say 8 shots.
Oh, good. 50%.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And 2
Check
of them
the
were bounce
stats on
shots.
you in between games.
I think my career shooting percentage is like 12%.
Yeah, I'm not really looking to shoot. I think that's why it goes in.
Did you get the stick dialed? I know there was a problem with that last year.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Missouri State, an extra man, but that has been released, and we're back to even strength. Under 5 minutes to go. St. Thomas, for all intents and purposes, looks like they'll be moving on.
I don't think you have to preface that anymore.
Yeah, all right, so they'll be moving on.
Oh,
Man, wearing it. How about Mark Dowdle?
I can't believe he's still in the game at this point.
He's done a little bit
jumps
of
in
everything.
front of the shot, runs it out.
And look at this. Here's where you see his athleticism.
Oh, man. Draws
Broke a
the flag.
stick. Wow.
Hey, this is the other flip side of that
That
coin.
stick break?
You talk about being fresh, but you want to be healthy too with, with your top players. And in a game that you have under control, why are you playing them with 4 minutes, under 4 minutes left to play?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see any of these St. Thomas players go down at this point in the game.
There's Dowdle again. We're going to talk to him post-game. For this game, shot just a bit high. It was a good look from Olsen.
We're getting him and Sam Fuller, long stick midfielder number 7 for the Tommies. He's been making plays all over the place.
Wholesale here. The starting lineup coming back in for man up.
Definitely going to ask Dowdle about that Fortnite. I am for sure. Ask him about that Fortnite in-game defensive play.
Distraction.
It was a distraction. Would you be more distracted? Let me ask you a question. Would you be more distracted seeing a defender do that move or the Dion mustache? What would rattle you
Oh, that's
more?
a good question.
The Fortnite for sure. The Fortnite Selly distraction mid-play. On ball.
Approach. It was the approach.
It was the approach. Yeah, that was.
You guys still play the Bayhawks this year. Why don't you do that when you're D'ing up Miles Jones?
Yeah,
All sorts of. To watch Outlaws Bayhawks coming up later this season.
Yeah, that was the first.
Spinning and winning. Benjamin Toffin slams one home, 16-1 as the extra man goal gets cashed in. So St. Thomas in control of this one. They will move on and play the winner of our next game between Florida Gulf Coast and Sierra Nevada. The 8-9 matchup coming up here in Division II.
Dunk City? Is it Dunk City?
Yeah, Dunk City. FGCU.
Can you dunk a basketball, Josh?
I can. 5'11" technically. I can still get up there.
I'm a 6'3", slap the backboard kind of guy.
Yes.
Playing below the rim.
I love it. Two-hand slap, though.
I'll tell you what, I could rebound, though. I was two-hand slap on the glass, but throw the body around, get some rebounds. I was a defensive stopper. I fouled a lot, too. Got a timeout here?
We got a timeout here for Missouri State. We will step aside here. Just a couple of minutes left to go. St. Thomas trying to put the finishing touches on an opening round win here at the 2018 MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
Welcome back to the 2018 MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour. The 16 versus 1 matchup in Division II. The Tommies, the top seed in this bracket, with a big lead over the 16-seeded Missouri State Bears, looking to put the closing touches on a opening round win and a date with either Florida Gulf Coast or Sierra Nevada in the second round tomorrow. That game coming up right here on Field 3 in Salt Lake City. Travis Eldridge, Greg Bice, Josh Hawkins back with you. Missouri State working with it behind the cage, looking to come away with another one, and they do. Pretty pass in front.
Great timeout call.
Yeah.
Just about to say that.
Monte Bordeaux. With a nice finish along the crease.
Set up a play during that timeout, finish strong.
Yeah, execute the play the coach puts in. Always a positive, and even at this stage in the game.
And we see Florida Gulf Coast making their way here to field number 3. That game coming your way shortly after the conclusion of this one, about 45 minutes or so.
What a great event this is.
So many players everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped to be a part of it. I've never been. I went to my first MCLA game this year, Utah, Colorado State. But to be a part of this, pretty cool. I mean, being here in Utah, it's a beautiful day.
See the mountains all around.
Good talent, good teams out here.
One of the things that's most impressive to me is the financial commitment that these players have to make. We're not talking about scholarships in most cases. You know, we're talking about guys that are working hard to pay dues, to travel, and to buy uniforms and pay their coaches. And you know, it says a lot about them and their work ethic and how much playing this sport means to them.
Yeah, I've got to learn a lot about that, and from Chris Marshall, Chapman alum.
He'll be here later on this week.
Yep.
Calling the semis and finals here from Salt Lake City. Even got the great Ryan Powell here as part of the commentating team.
RP, the Rhino.
The Rhino.
Been really breaking in with Syracuse games this year. He's got the broadcasting bug. See if Missouri State can add one more here.
Ryan Powell was my host when I visited Syracuse.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
That's a great fun fact.
I didn't go to Syracuse, so it's all Ryan's fault.
Man, he didn't show you a good time.
We were joking around about it yesterday.
I've been to the varsity.
It's a great spot.
Yeah.
Varsity, you got Fagans. Hang out on Marshall Street. And that one couldn't quite be corralled. Took 30 seconds to go in this opening round game. The Tommies going to move on as the top seed. Missouri State's season going to come to an end. About what we expected in this first game, a rematch of last year's opening round contest here in Division II.
Don't expect the Tommies to shoot. There you go.
And that will do it. St. Thomas, the top seed, rolling on into the second round. They'll get the winner, Florida Gulf Coast and Sierra Nevada, here tomorrow. That game coming your way in about 45 minutes. Greg Bice, I'm Travis Eldridge. We'll see you for Game 2 here in Division II. Your final score of Game 1, St. Thomas 16, Missouri State 2.
You want to snag the